Alright, so lots to talk about, lots to do. Okay, we'll start with you, new guy. Sebastian, restoration. What's up?
You look like you've got something on your mind, Sev.
Struggling a little, perhaps. I find myself torn.
Between Casmin's stews and Darm's spiced pork? Same.
Hmm.
Pork. Stew gets in my fur.
Great.
That aside, I find myself both wanting to tear down the Norians and redeem them.
Right. I mean, torn allegiances, understandable.
Surely not everything they did was self-serving politics. There had to be some craft or artistry behind it.
Probably.
That's the part of Norian-ness that appeals to you?
Recently I found records, experiments to improve flow rates across the tapestry.
That we could use that.
Better pipes.
Pretty much. The team was working on it right around the time the surge hit.
Any idea where?
Not too far from here. Odd they'd set up in a swamp, but perhaps it was a stress test.
Maybe.
We're going to have to fix the Enclave eventually. Better pipes can't hurt. I'll check it out.
Yep.
You are tireless, Brynn.
Lot of work to do. This is a job, gently remind him. I do get tired, but he doesn't need to dwell on it, deflect with humor. I make time when work is important. Yeah.
I believe we need every edge we can get. This place keeps throwing us surprises, and preparation is key.
That is true. I
You're
like
right.
it.
But we all notice how hard you work.
Could you give me some better armor for it?
I know what it feels like to work without praise. Feels good to shine a little sun on your achievements.
Oh, thank you, bud. He was working for the Norians. They didn't really care much, I guess. Restoration. Investigate the Norian expedition in the Hallowpyre's Shrine region of Dredger's Mire. Sev found references to a Norian expedition that was operating away from the capital around the time of the surge. He's hoping he can find something practical instead of political in their work, and has asked if I can check it out for him whenever I'm in the area. With everything he's been through since we arrived, I was surprised but glad to see him confidently pursue his own discoveries. Alright, Aurea. What's up with you and your post?
Everyone knew the aeroliths could smooth out the weather,
But control them.
but no one suspected they could change it so suddenly. Since the surge, they've caused wild swings, but no one has ever tried to control it.
Now we can.
Sev's achieved something incredible.
And practical. Imagine the look on a glass tail's face when it suddenly turns blisteringly hot.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise, Icy Boy. It's summer.
Huh.
Exactly. Advantage, Brynn.
Yep. They really want me to do that. Find an ice or a fire one and then just turn the temperature on them. Kazmian, what's up?
Have I ever told you how much I enjoy watching your expeditions on the Scry?
I am cool.
You too? Look, it's no secret that when Aurea injured her wing, I was skeptical of you taking over expeditions.
Right.
So I started watching you to make sure things were going well.
I mean, I collect a whole lot of materials for you. You should be happy.
You mean to make sure I didn't screw up?
Fine. That's what I was doing. At least at first. On one of your first expeditions into the Hollow, I watched you take a swing at that massive Archon thinking it was inactive.
Right.
Then, when its eye lit up, these visions of you dying started swarming me.
Probably the freaking disease you had.
I panicked and asked Aurea if you were ready for this, hoping she'd pull you out immediately. Then you began climbing the arc. And it was like everything in my head just went quiet. That does not happen often. You had this serene look on your face. Like this was exactly the challenge you'd been waiting a lifetime for.
Probably was.
It was.
Yeah, there you go.
When you took it down without breaking a sweat, I was secretly pretty impressed.
Secretly, huh?
I like hearing you had faith in me, even back then.
It's only grown tenfold. After that, I enjoyed watching you on the Scry. Knowing you're out there, keeping all of us safe, relaxes me and keeps the visions at bay.
You need to keep those visions at bay. Alright. Well, hello, little Arva. Oh, you're a Krell, I don't remember. We have you. Oh my god, High Kingdom of Taza. The High Kingdom of Taza is a monarchy ruling over smaller leaders and also styled kings and queens of their land. It is situated among the southern edges of the Ashpeak Mountains. If one follows the coast south of the Enclave, they will eventually reach its capital, Rollin and Ban, sitting on the threshold between an ocean of sand and an ocean of water. The nation's western reaches, conversely, are separated from Rhineland to the north by nothing more than a few well-defended mountains, giving the Tarzans a nigh unassailable string of holds from which to launch assaults on the fertile strip of land that girds the southwestern extent of the Maida Basin. This, of course, has resulted in a bitter at best relationship with Rhineland spanning generation. Somewhat ironically, the constant conflict on the aforementioned fertile strip of land has laid waste to the settlements that dotted the coast, and any farms have long been raised by either or both of the nation's armies. The High Kingdom's relationships with my homeland, Judea, is similarly tense, though not to the point of military conflict. Territorial disputes have defined the nation's diplomatic history. Judean privateers, sanctioned by the state, ply the waters off the coast of the kingdom's capital, placing constant pressure on Tarzan traders. In the years before I was born, the Enclave's close proximity to both nations acted as a calming presence, with Tarzan engineers having a fundamental role in building the city-state's infrastructure. Since the surge, however, relationships have once again soured. I traveled to the High Kingdom just once, when I was 16, as a reward for my academic successes. The journey to the edge of the kingdom took weeks. We followed the coast to the southwest and then chartered a protected vessel across the disputed waters to our first destination, Rollith and Bands. Our crossing was uneventful, though the tension between our Tarzan guides and the Udian merchants accompanying us was palpable. We only spent a couple of days there, but I must say, Rollith and Banff is a beautiful city in its own way, though very much unlike Varentia. The mazes of streets are nigh impossible for an outsider to navigate, quite representative of Taza as a whole, I suppose. The Eternal Palace gleams above the city at sunset and is visible at quite a distance. I would have loved to have toured it, but before we could secure permissions to enter, we were off on the second leg of our journey to the base of the northern mountains. Our aim was to observe the spring migration of the sandfish from the rocky peaks over the cliffs down to the oceans of sand below. It's a significant cultural event on the Tarzan calendar and has been since time immemorial. The sandfish travel the same routes every year, and the Tarzans carefully engineer the landscape to funnel them through a series of channels where only the largest specimens are harvested, leaving the rest to breed amongst the dunes and eventually return to the mountains. The harvest is always carried out with restraint, according to protocols handed down through story and song. It was truly fascinating to watch and made me wonder why our fishing seasons at home aren't conducted with the same depth of care. Yes, ecological sustainability, of course, is very important. The Udean Federation, where she is from. The Udean Federation is a collection of city-states bound together by cultural norms, defensive alliances, and ironclad trade agreements. Located at the southeastern extent of the Maida, the Federation's current territory stretches from the ocean almost to the walls of the enclave itself. The grand houses of Judea's most powerful all face east across the water. It is official history that our people's origins lie across the ocean, though none have been able to make the journey to prove it. Astute readers will notice the use of our. This is because your humble lorekeeper hails from these very islands. I hail from a minor family based in the Udean trade hub of Varentia, a city considered the shining jewel among our many islands, though that label is itself controversial. Udea's historical wealth comes from its long-term control of the Maida shipping lanes. With a stranglehold on the most efficient way to transport goods in a timely manner, the Udean merchant navy profited greatly. That is until the surge. The primary effect of this disaster on Udea was the sudden overload of the Enclave's weather manipulation technology, causing furious storms to lay waste across the Maida. Udea's merchant fleet, complacently built with durability low on the priority list, fared poorly. Much was lost. Now, decades after, Udea has failed to recover to its former heights, and the balance of power across the Maida has shifted. Dornenberg controls the sea, operating the Udean relief efforts. The once mighty houses squabble for scraps as the needy go hungry, and the scions of these families might just be tempted to disappear in the night, leaving no trace. Tarmakind smithing. We actually have a proper report on it now. The Tarmakind smithing technique is considered a lost art among the armorers of the Maida due to its intricate nature. It was a style of forging armor that used specific cuts in the plates before shaping to create seamless folds. The resulting armor was light, strong, visually distinct, and thus was highly desirable to the point where supply never came close to meeting demand. 1 second. Water. Water is fun. Anyway. Hammer. Right. The technique often relies on the smith to use a large, heavy forge in order to reach high enough temperatures to alloy the metal on larger pieces of armor. This level of cost and complexity is largely why the technique fell out of fashion. In spite of this, one Tarmakine smith by the name of Xavier Nebarov began working with the Halopyre priest in the Enclave to innovate on potential heat sources to use for the technique that could be more easily transported by iterant weavers. Ultimately, they discovered that magic infused magma in the arcane portion of the Enclave could be used as this very heat source. We'll have a heat source then.
This is really very clever. You figured it out then?
Yes, Xavier's idea was to use an alchemical process similar to what Dharm and I just did to treat the coals.
Hmm?
Elements left over from weaving flame strands distilled and used to treat magma.
Literal magma? The blood of the earth?
Yeah.
Enchanted magma. Measured precisely from one of Xavier's containers, he could delicately control temperature in a forge or foundry.
Sola will be over the moon. I'll let her know.
And I'll collate the more technical details. They'll be ready when she is.
Alright. Putting down roots. One of the secrets to unworking Tamakine was obviously the intense heat, but it turns out that Sola and Dam working together could harness the heat of magma in specially designed containers, which we found the schematics for. Thankfully, I don't think I'll have to get involved in that part, except to tell Sola the good news. I hope I get the term right, though. It's still magma if it's underground, right? Lava is when it reaches the surface. Dad would know.
Anyone else missing Sev? Oh, he was always quiet, but his presence was felt nonetheless.
I definitely miss his help, but I'm happy he's found his place in the band.
Don't mind the space for now, personally.
Great. He's the new temperature control person. He controls the temperature. So, Lau, let's talk first.
How are you feeling about Sev, Sola?
Delighted.
Not upset to lose an apprentice?
There will be more, and he's just a few yards away.
You can call him back if you need him, yeah.
I'm proud of him. And controlling the weather itself. Incredible. I've learned from a lot of years on the road that change is the natural way of things.
But now she wants change.
Our time in the Enclave has certainly proven that.
Anticipating change and finding joy in it, the best thing you can do in your life.
Seem to be more supportive of your partner then, who wants change. Putting down roots.
Magma. Can you believe it?
They're talking.
Is it not lava?
I thought it was only lava if it bubbled up from underground. But now I'll have to ask Lane.
You heard the news then?
Oh, I'm sorry, Brynn. We ruined the surprise.
It's fine. Just nice to see you so happy.
We're confident that between the two of us, we can make Xavier's plan work.
And I'm keen to try it out. I was up sketching all night, and I have an idea for some armor to act as a test.
Breastplate?
If it works, we'll gather more. The veil has to open someday, and with this magma, we could be on the road for months.
On the road, huh?
Or maybe we'll stay. Either option provides you many potential students.
Yeah.
Or maybe, just maybe,
Maybe.
We could do both.
Move and stay?
we'll make it work. After we get this bloody Enclave sorted out. Right, Brynn?
Right.
I have every faith we will.
Can I make my armor now? Tarmakine Chausis. Chausis? Where's my freaking the main body? Mending mindset. Repaired a bond of love. Oh, and okay, there you go. Tarmakine scale plate has also been unlocked. We have all the armor now. And we're done. Oh, we can talk? Let's talk first.
So, I strongly suspect shenanigans, but also thank you.
For repairing your relationship?
About the stove?
Oh, absolutely. But shenanigans almost always come from a place of love.
Or lead to one?
Well said. And this forge is going to be invaluable, so we all benefit, including the future students I'm imagining up.
Right.
Any standouts in your illusory class?
Me?
There's a shy, red-headed lad named Carlos. He's going to go far. I just know it.
Carlos, huh? Alright. Let us craft. Oh hell yeah, now that looks sick as hell. Tarmakind scale plate. And the chouses as well. Okay, but before I do that, let us dismantle my current opportunist cuirass and my current opportunist high greaves. Lady with the straps. Can I just incredible. No, let us craft the best damn scale plate you've ever seen. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, well, I would like Sovereign Entrium to be part of it. And we need a lot of it, and Entrium is the best. Give me a second. Changing day. Um, salvage resources, some stuff I don't need. So like this stuff. As much as I love it, we don't really need it. Go and buy like Sovereign Entrium. That'll do. Okay. Fractured? No, not fractured. On Tarmakind scale plate. There you go, beautiful, regal armor. And then could put this 5 on all, but this is 7. Use that Ice Claw full grain. More Ice Claw full grain, I guess. Not iron leather again. And more forged resource. More sovereign entrium.
Worse than materials, I'd say.
Definitely. And then we'll want Tarmakind chouses. More sovereign entrium. More sovereign entrium. But we're gonna need like Ice Claw full grain. So 5 Ice Claw full grain if possible. Well, that's kind of all we could get. Now we're gonna need a lot more stuff. Sovereign entrium, Ice Claw full grain, Ice Claw full grain, sovereign entrium. Look at me, man. Look at me. Question. Yeah, we use Stanek for this. So yeah, we should replace this with Ice Claw full grain and sovereign entrium given the chance. My hand is sovereign entrium, but there is still Stanek on there. Oh, Stanek is just worse for this. So Stanek is just better, I mean. Wait a minute, is that so? No, but purified serenite is better. It gives better results.
If that doesn't keep you safe, I don't know what will.
Anything better here? Not for armor. Yeah, okay.
If that doesn't keep you safe, I don't know what will.
Well, it's gonna be hard to upgrade this. We need Ice Claw full grain. Ice Claw full grain. These are all max level, but these are not. So another Ice Claw full grain. Couple of Ice Claw full grain, let's just say. Get to do some good stuff with that. We have a lot of these. A lot of these. Okay, there you go. Some sovereign entrium and some Ice Claw full grain. Can upgrade our armor to level 2. Upgrade again to level 3. 6 more armor, 1 more heat,
That's
3
an
more cold.
intimidating silhouette.
That is indeed a very intimidating silhouette.
That's an intimidating silhouette.
Then 8 more armor, 1 more heat resist, 4 more cold resist. And we have what we need. So 6 ice claw full grain, 7 anthrium. Six ice claw full grain and 7 anthrium. Okay, we're gonna crank down on these. Six. There you go. 6 of these and 7 of those. That should be enough to get my final upgrade.
If that doesn't keep you safe, I don't know what will.
72 armor, 19 heat, 37 cold resistance, 21 weight. It's the best to ever do it. And now all we have left is this. So 2 and 2 should do it. Okay. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There you go. Grabbed a bunch of this. So it's just Sovereign N3M and Ice Claw Full Grade is what I'm using. So they're the best. Boom. 6, 1, and
If
3.
that doesn't keep you safe, I don't know what will.
7 more armor, 1 more heat, and 4 more cold resistance. And it's got bonus heat resistance too. So, ooh, okay. So 3 and 4 Sovereign and 3. 3 Ice Claw Full Grains, 4 Sovereign and 3 will get me what I need. So, go just grab a bunch of stuff. I don't know how they have all of this. That's the most funny part. They just have it lying
If that
around.
doesn't keep you safe, I don't know what will.
And a final upgrade, so 8 more armor, 1 more heat, and 4 more cold resistance. 7 Sovereign Enthrium, and 5 Ice Claw Full Grain. 7 Sovereign Enthrium, 5 Ice Claw Full Tail. Okay. There you go. And we grabbed a bit of extra, because obviously we need extra. Boom. I have a maxed out set of the best stuff we have. 24 Ice Claw Full Grain is right in here. So that's you know, that's good, I guess. You're made of Drake Scales, which is like the best. Although I guess replacing it with you does give more overall resistance than it takes away. It does look cooler too. Yeah, let's put some Elder Husk in there. And this is just a personal choice opinion. We'll just keep it as it is.
Use these well.
Get back our Drake Scales too. Now replacing this, we'll need 24 sovereign Enthrium to do so, but I mean, it looks sick, man. It looks sick. And then replacing the Frostbane leather with Ice Claw full grain is also a good idea. And then here, we need a couple of things need to change here, but same thing with the arm. The arm has sovereign Enthrium, but iron leather here should be replaced with Ice Claw full grain. Incredible skill or incredible wealth. Then the Stenic is actually the best we've got. Could be replaced with Purified Serenite. We'll see to that later though. That looks sick as hell though. Alright, Dom, let's talk.
Brynn, I was just thinking about how we managed to trap the heat of molten rock itself.
And you and your wife seem through a complicated patch?
I never doubted we would find a way through.
Did you never doubt?
This time was different than the other spats we've had. I am very grateful for your help. I would not know what to do without Sola. She is very much my guiding star.
You're welcome. You big romantic. Just keep talking to her, and the nights will be cloudless.
That is good advice.
Indeed.
Alright. What happened to you? Could what mean what?
It's nice to have the camp stove working properly again.
Uh-huh.
Even if it took Casmin quietly tossing our coal supply into the hollow one night to make it happen.
Uh-huh. There you go.
Wait, she did?
Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned that.
Huh.
But Dom and Sola have reconciled, which I suspect was her whole plan, so hopefully it's okay.
It's okay.
Still, Kaz doesn't like for people to know she's a romantic at heart.
Oh, well, I am very glad you mentioned this. Thank you, Lane.
Uh-huh.
Just go easy on the teasing. I don't want her to serve my stew cold all week.
Alright. That's everything with Lane. Everything with Dom. Except weaving strands, we don't need to do. Sola, I'll be back with more materials, I hope. Arakim, ruined fountain, let's talk.
Okay, let's take that again. I'm sorry. I needed a moment to step back and refocus after going off about Stanild.
Right.
I am, I think, okay now.
Good to know.
I'm impressed. Not everyone can pull themselves out of that kind of anger.
A hard-won skill. When I first made head of the scouts, Stanild did everything he could to undercut me. His favorite trick was poking and prodding until I lost my cool. Always worked.
You've seemed pretty together around him when I've been there.
Practice.
Yeah. I started practicing
Valanchier.
What's that?
the intersection between meditation, bare-hand combat, and breathing exercises. There's a complete series of whole-body motions, painfully slow, moving from pose to pose while controlling your breathing.
Calms you down.
But at the end, just before you reach the final pose, you explode into the final position, usually exhaling hard like, ha!
And that helps.
Oh yeah. It's a solid workout controlling your motions, but the real struggle is the mental focus.
Yeah.
Which can be exhausting, but after a few months of practice, it's like being able to slide into that calm headspace on command. Few deep breaths and Stanild can't touch me. Well, except when he puts my people in danger with his ego.
That's bad. That sounds useful. Ask if he'll teach me sometime. Makes me grateful Oriel's reasonable. Thank him. Teach me.
My mum used to say I could use some impulse control. Maybe I should get some lessons from you. And again, I'm truly sorry to hear about the losses. We'll make their sacrifices meaningful.
Yes, we will. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. You can keep talking, okay?
Hey you. How's my favorite point doing?
Fine.
Really well, like always. Thought I'd see how you were holding up.
Still reeling a little from the attack, but getting my feet back under me. Forces me to be up all day more often than I should. I should talk to Dharm about that, actually.
Oh, why?
Dharm uses some kind of sleep aid. Lane could help you with that.
Oh, are they the secret weapon? I wondered how Dharm does it. I can stay up past noon regularly, but I wear down if I do it too much.
To be fair, I think that's just Dharm. Fueled by his love of enchantment and solar in equal measure.
I wouldn't mind seeing more of him. Tell him so I could see it helping with his job. Empathize. No. We have a girlfriend. I could see it helping with his job. Emphasize about lack of sleep.
The scouts probably appreciate you being available all day, but that will wear you down if you're not careful. You must have a day watch head who fills in when you sleep.
Yes, but I can't resist getting involved when it's important. I'll talk to Lane. Maybe they have some extra tricks up their sleeve.
Oh, more talking. Okay.
Ooh, you were really moving out there.
Right.
I was told time was of the essence.
Over the flowers.
Yeah, but you made it look easy. Maybe someday you could give classes to the novice scouts.
Maybe. I'm sure he can handle putting scouts to their paces. Sounds like a rare opportunity. I'm game.
I'd be delighted. But I need permission to be a total hard ass. That work?
Wins, yes. Ooh, we'll introduce you as Coach Brynn and you can wear like really tight pants.
Really tight pants. Oh no, it's too easy, but I have to tease him.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
No,
I swear.
It's okay, Eric. I'm just teasing. But if you get afloat opportunities to make you blush, I have to go for it. And more to the point, I'm game. We'll tackle it when the dust is all settled.
Okay, there's so much talking.
You know, I can't stop thinking. Could Stannard have fixed the weather?
Could he?
From what Sev said, the former I was more a political animal than an expert.
Yeah, that makes sense. If only he'd shared what he had access to with people who were halfway competent.
They could have done more, yeah.
Anyway, I just hope Sev can keep digging. He's got a good head on his shoulders.
Support him, okay. More talking. Insane amounts of
Wait,
talking.
did you hear what Aurea said to me?
No?
No?
I guess you can call me Madame Osphine.
Huh.
No!
Oh, yes. You are a smart, capable, and amazing person. But you're a menace.
Huh. Okay, finally we are done talking. And no, we're not interested in relationships right now, okay? We have a relationship already. Tom has nothing. Sola's got nothing. Lane, are you drinking? No, okay. Like, are you drinking potions? No, she's just biting the nib of her quill. The hell is that? Oh, that's him. Casmin.
So, I was having a chat with Lane.
Uh-huh.
Oh? Said something about you stashing coal outside the camp.
Oh, gods, they saw that.
They saw everything.
Sure did.
Oh, I was so careful. Listen, Brynn, you know why I did it, right?
Yeah.
Because our enchanter and Smith need to keep working together.
Yes, and they need to keep talking. They're so good together. So, I did what I had to. Just don't tell anyone, okay?
Of course
Kaz.
not.
Yeah? I think everyone knows. Except maybe Dom.
Gods, that's embarrassing.
You might want to sneak that coal back into the stocks at some point.
Yeah, we could use it.
Already did. It was distracting to know the count was wrong.
Alright. Okay, consult with Stannard. We can do that real quick. Head over to Catherine's Hold. Yo, look at my sick armor though. Salt armor kind, it's all sovereign enthrium. It's the best of the best went into it. Axel's got nothing. Saddle. Harvest a strand, investigate the Norian expedition. Okay. In memories. It is done.
I performed the rite, and I brought you the ashes.
Thank you, Brynn. Isla admired you. She would be honored that you did this for her.
It's not how she would have wanted things. I should have been there.
And died? Yeah.
Enough! I know you're grieving. We all are. But you are no longer the Eye. And this disrespectful conduct ends now.
Yep,
You
discipline.
owe Brynn a thank you. And an apology for that matter. And probably a great deal more than that. Not only has she gone out of her way to perform the rite for your daughter, but she saved us all from certain death at the Grand Gate too. None of which she would ever have had to do if it weren't for your...
Incompetence.
For my actions! I know! I know! It's all my fault. I should have been there. Not at the temple. At the Grand Gate.
Yeah, the sword is for sure, what?
I should have stayed. The way she looked at me when I left her there. Never forget it.
Uh-huh.
I could fill a city with my mistakes. I should have supported her work. I should never have lied to her. My regrets will drown me.
Maybe they should.
Maybe they should.
My mother used to say, you can drown in your grief, or learn to swim in it. It is unfair that you lost a child, no matter the circumstances.
Even if it was your fault.
I am so sorry that happened to you. But now you have a choice. You can spend the rest of your days counting the ways you failed your daughter. Or you can dedicate every breath you have left to her.
How?
A third of people?
Just do one small thing a day that would make her proud to call you her father. Start by helping us finish the work you wish you had supported in her life.
That is a good start.
It's
Yeah.
too late for that, I'm afraid. If you'll excuse me.
Huh.
But there is one thing. The Ark in your camp, the one she wanted to restore. It's called the Ark of Verdance.
Burdens.
An enchantress named Lucia de Crassus built it.
And I've heard of her.
Lucia.
Consider it a thank you for what you've done.
Give me the arc, I already have it. Is it information? The former eyes comment that the Ark of Verdance was created by Lucia. It's becoming clear that all Kendrick's bluster masks how wounded he is. It's not an excuse for behaving so terribly, but clearly he does blame himself for his daughter's death, and the reality is his actions did play a part in it. I can't imagine how we'll ever recover from this, but despite our differences, I sincerely hope he finds a way. The Axel seems very distraught following her confrontation with Kendrick. I can only imagine how hard Isla's death has been on her. I should make sure she's okay. Give me a sec. Alright, what am I... I can only imagine how hard it is. Make sure she's doing okay. Okay. You can talk more to you. Let's talk about stuff with the eye. It's all broken.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the Ark of Verdance?
Please. I've had enough.
Not enough.
Just leave me be.
Fine. I understand.
Alright. He doesn't want to talk right now.
You must be thinking of running after these emergency measures are finished.
I assure you, I am not thinking of much beyond what fresh crisis the next hour holds.
Right. In memories.
You deserved better from him, but that was probably all he's capable of. Come to think of it, we all deserved better from him.
Makes sense, yeah.
What will you do now?
Take care of my people. Someone needs to. And you? You're going to try to fix the arcs?
Probably. We still don't know how an arc brought us in here. Tell her we need to uncover its mysteries. The Searchborn are clearly stronger than we imagined. Tell her we need to deal with them. Issa devoted her life to the arcs. Tell her we need to honor her sacrifice. Honor her sacrifice? Oh, give me a second. Alright, we need to honor Isla's sacrifice.
Isla saw something in the arcs no one else did. The Enclave's legacy, innovation and ambition. We can't let her death be in vain. Her work must be finished.
Yep.
I wish I could help, but arcs were Isla's expertise, not mine. Still, I agree.
The arcs can help.
That arc allowed you to pass safely through the tangles, where Surgeborn go to regenerate. If you're going to try to fix it, consider me heavily invested in your progress.
Can you give us supplies and stuff?
It's too great an advantage to ignore. I'll keep you updated.
How are we gonna do it though? Consult with Dam. Okay, just keep talking to everyone. Though we've laid Ela to rest, there's a way we can continue her legacy. After all, knowing that Lucia de Cossus built the Ark of Verdance is a huge piece of the puzzle that Kendrick, for whatever reason, decided to give us. I've got Isla's annotated copy on the workings of Archons. I'll bring it to Dam and see if he can glean anything useful from her extensive notes. Let's talk, Axel.
I need you to know, nobody else has been checking in on me like you have.
Nobody knew, right?
I feel as if I'm alone in the stifling dark. But you are a bright light.
That's good, I like that.
Even though everything is very hard, I need you to know that I see what you're doing. Thank you.
Helping you out.
Of course. It's just the right thing to do.
You laying Isla to rest is what she would have wanted, despite what her father said.
I mean, I agree.
You inspired her.
Or,
to
I
be
mean,
better,
you could have done it.
braver. It respects her memory to the fullest.
It was the least I could do.
Don't diminish your contributions.
You've got our support,
Our considerable support.
whatever form that takes.
For what it's worth, I appreciate that.
By the way, I found something that you might want to see. It's a letter I found in the Spindle's hideout. It looked like your handwriting. I didn't read it.
Yep.
I don't understand why you've been so kind to us, Brynn.
It's okay. I'll let you get back to it, alright?
Good person.
Likewise.
Could help out this good person by giving me a lot of sovereign entrium. You got some? I'll take it all off your hands. I am a big fan of the sovereign entrium. This shining, I guess that means he has something to say. The Surge-bound Gowl.
The rite of ashes you performed for Kenrick's daughter was quite a display.
And how did you see this?
I almost shed a tear.
How do you know about that?
I have eyes everywhere.
You're watching me through the other Surgeborn.
There are no other Surgeborn. We are one and the same.
Almost like the way bees work together in a hive?
If that makes it simple for you, close enough. Anyway, pity you couldn't save her. Is that why you dropped everything to perform a funeral rite for someone you barely know?
She was a friend, and you murdered her. Don't expect to survive long enough to kill someone else I care about.
I'll kill all of you.
Technically, I did not kill her. Her limitations are what destroyed her in the end. Funny how magic often provokes overreaching in your kind.
What are you talking about?
Searchborn Go knows that she died because she used too much magic. I mean, these things around me, this little cloak of feathers. Oh, what the hell is this? He's looking at her work.
My light. I remember the day you were born, vividly. When I held you, my heart was so full it threatened to break. And I know your mother felt the same way. For all her flaws, she would be so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
I was too late for that, but I guess better late than never. Okay, well, these guys have nothing else. I'll have to head to Dam now.
You'll take what we can get, Henrik.
He deserves a spectacle. Yeah, well, we can't afford a spectacle right now. Brynn's magic recovers more quickly when there is an abundance of raw magic in the air, such as me in the Vale's shadow. Oh hell, we just stayed there, huh?
And then the priest says, that's not how you extinguish the holy flame.
Great.
I thought you never extinguished the holy flame.
We don't.
They make certain exceptions when it threatens centuries-old tapestries.
You never talked about your time in the church.
They're not happy memories.
No, but they're yours.
Then let's not fight again so I have more time to share them.
That's unreasonable. Let's just make sure we're talking.
That is the most important part.
Of course, my love. After all, I love you like... I love you.
I love you too.
Ah, well, there we go. Seems like the relationship has been fixed. Jasmine, you want to talk even more, huh?
Could we just fill our lives with slow mornings in your tent from now on?
Oh.
You'll get no complaints here. I take every chance I can get to watch the sunrise with you.
How do you do it?
Do what?
Make rest bearable. I've never been one to just sit in stillness. In fact, before you, lazing around sounded like torture. Not making the most of every second made me want to claw my skin off.
That sounds so sad to me.
Relax, you can rest.
I guess it was. With you, I can just be. And it's enough.
I know what you mean.
Really? Because it seems like you've been an expert at staying present long before I came along. Sometimes it feels like you're ahead of me on a lot of this stuff.
I'm pretty good at this.
I guess I've always thought that happiness only exists in the present. Planning too much for the future breeds anxiety, and meditating too much on the past breeds loss. So I have always tried to just be, as much as anyone can. But with you, these slow moments somehow make me feel... irrelevant? Well, that sounds bad, but I mean it in a good way.
Irrelevant but good.
I know. Like, there's no one to save and nothing to fix. The world just melts away.
That's nice. Apparently we spent a slow morning. My tent. Consult with Dom and talk. Oh my god. It never ends, man. I'm convinced it never ends.
Oh, Brynn. Hi.
Crying?
Were you crying? Are you okay?
Yes. The rite of ashes just got to me, that's all.
Light of ashes, right?
The spindle and the axle only had such a brief time together.
That is true.
It's awful. I can't imagine how she's feeling right now.
So much in life can be fleeting. It just makes you appreciate what a gift the time you have with someone is.
Alright. Thank you for that
Coach,
I'm Coach Brynn.
Oh no.
How tight were the pants exactly, Arakim?
Hmm.
Maybe it's the next Enclave innovation. Why enchant when you can snug an inseam?
I swear, you two are worse for hazing than my group heads.
Hmm. What else, Arakim?
All this time, the spindle was sneaking out of Cassidon's hold. And I had no idea.
Think that's your fault?
Sounds like you two had more in common than you realized.
Just reminds me that you've got to tell people how you feel when you get the chance.
How you feel?
Was there something you wish you had told the spindle?
Just how much I appreciated her level head and expertise. And that we all knew her father wasn't why she was the spindle.
That is important. Okay. Lifting the Shroud. Lucia de Causas. Highly regarded expert on arc design and creation, creator of the Ark of Verdance, and would be asylum saboteur. Lucia de Caucus is a woman of many faces, or perhaps phrases. To our understanding, Lucia was highly placed within the Guild of Enchanters, not a spindle, but important and influential enough to be one of the rare people allowed to discuss the arcs in even loose terms with the outside world. Yeah. Her work on animation, a brief discussion of the arc's ambulatory capabilities, was the only document on arcs to ever be published beyond the walls of the Enclave. Beyond that, her public-facing activities are somewhat difficult to track. After the search, she seems to have repeatedly clashed with the government of the Enclave. The Eye clearly knew her, as he was the one who confirmed her involvement with the Ark of Verdance to us, but his reticence on the matter makes it clear that the two might have a tumultuous history, to put it lightly. The evidence might go some way towards explaining her later actions. We know that following the search, she refused to evacuate to Cassidon's hold with the rest of the populace, instead electing to seclude herself away. Her research turned to disruption of the arcs, along with the design of a device to take down the asylum barrier. This device, which she named Lucia's Timble, required expertise and skill to which she had no access. It took our band's combined efforts decades later to build and deploy it. Given her background and prior art, so to speak, it turns makes more sense than not that she was involved in the production of a unique arc whose core functionality is geared around resisting or disrupting magic. This is supported by evidence dated mere days before the search that Lucia personally arranged for the Ark of Verdance to be transported out of the Enclave. Fetid with the same enchantments used in her creation of the thimble, this ark was ultimately shipped out on one of the final caravans to depart from the Enclave before the search. Her own writings refer to it as a last resort that cannot be destroyed. It is somewhat telling, then, that she entrusted it to a band of weavers rather than a commissioned caravan master. While the weavers' caravan was ultimately destroyed in the search and subsequent activation of the Veil, the Ark of Verdance remained inactive for decades, though we suspect that some elements of Lucia's enchantments were responsible for the safe zone we found in the Veil's shadow. They seem to have passively pushed away raw magic until Brynn's inadvertent activation of the Ark triggered it to attempt to return home. Lucia's fate remains unknown, given the overwhelming severity of the miasma floods and her refusal to retreat to Cassidon's hold with the other Hearthsiders. It does not stretch the imagination to assume that she perished at some point after the surge. We have the lifting the shroud. Oh, let's talk to Dam though.
You performed the rite of ashes beautifully, Brynn.
I mean, you would know, you were a priest, right?
Glad to hear it. Not being part of the church myself, I felt a little out of place.
I'm sure Isla is at peace.
The rite mentioned an eternal warmth. Ask about the afterlife.
The rite I read mentioned shrouding the spindle in an eternal warmth. Is that in reference to an afterlife?
Yes, although the Reformed sect do believe in an afterlife, it is featured more prominently in Orthodox Hallowpire beliefs.
There are two.
The idea being that the Great Fire is an ethereal, divine being which cannot be fully comprehended in this life, and who waits for its followers beyond this lifetime.
Okay, the Eye wanted the ashes from the altar. Ask what is done with them.
The Eye asked me to collect the ashes from the altar on his behalf. What does he intend to do with them?
It depends on the sect. But often the ashes from the ritual are interred with the body in a burial site. Other times, if it's a prominent family, which the Stanhold's seem to be, the ashes are housed in a family mausoleum.
Okay.
Tragic, of course. But a father must do this for his child instead of the other way around.
Spindle was an enchantress. Wonder if Hallowpire often attracts
A
weavers.
religion founded on fire seems like a natural draw for weavers. Was that your experience in Renland?
Hardly. In Renland, magic was ostracized. And there, it was viewed as unnatural corruption of fire.
Well, I do a lot of it then.
Pure ignorance. That's why I've turned my back on it for many years. But you're right, that the Stanel family's religious beliefs are notable. The prominence of the church in Upper Denevron suggests the weavers here held it in high regard.
Sense, I guess. Okay, I've learned enough for now. Thank you for his
I
time.
appreciate your perspective on it. But I'd better let you get back to work.
Before you go, thank you for laying her to rest. You could have just paid your respects and left, but it was the right thing to do.
Thank you. In memories.
Dom, the interference I'm experiencing during expeditions is concerning. Is there any chance our scry is degrading like the ones belonging to the Enclave?
I'm still investigating, but my initial reaction is that it doesn't feel the same.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't give out on us completely in the meantime.
However, I have taken a look at the Spindle's copy of the workings of Archons, and thankfully, the writing is far more legible than Lucia's.
That's good.
And her notes are significantly less paranoid at that.
About that, Kenrick Stanold told me that Lucia wasn't just tinkering with the arc we followed through the Veil. She built it. The Ark of Verdance.
That is quite the revelation. What was it for?
That was all Kenrick could tell me. Or wanted to tell me. But Sev mentioned that Kenrick had been feeding Isla information about a failsafe for the source.
Oh.
Could the Ark of Verdance be the fix she was working on without realizing it?
Yes. Yes! That could be it. Genius, Brynn.
That's good. Okay.
On my side, I dug into her notes. She was working on a way to fully restore our Ark for us.
Good.
She was so close to a schematic, intricate, elaborate, masterful. And I finished it.
Oh, great.
Solar has the final design ready for you.
Okay.
Essentially, we'll be creating a power core for the Ark. Most notably, we'll need a special part, a bar of shaped coral.
How do I get that?
This is the final key for an Ark to be functional on its own without a weaver channeling magic into it.
Needs coral, okay.
If we had built a power core earlier, could her death have been prevented?
She only made this discovery in the final days of her life, through researching all the Ark parts we had supplied her. Her research even theorizes that using one's own magic to power an Ark for brief amounts of time could result in death.
So she knew the risks.
So she knew she was going to die at the Grand Gate?
She knew exactly what would happen, and did it anyway. That's courage.
That
We
is
can't
courage.
let it be in vain. So, then the Ark of Verdance is our failsafe. Your design will get it running. Where can I find the shaped coral?
She suspected it was kept in the Archon's hearth, stored near natural coral deposits for its regenerative properties.
Okay. The design unlocked. Archon Power Core. Search for the bar of ship coral in the arcane forge at the Archon's hearth. Okay. Ila spent her final days working on a plan to fix the arc we followed through the Veil. Dam and I suspect that the Ark of Verdance was the failsafe for the source that Lucia built to suppress the overage of raw magic. With her research, Sola was able to come up with a design for the last missing component, a power core. She'll need a bar of ship coral. Dam believes I could find this in the Archon's hearth, perhaps stored near the arcane forge. It would seem that if the arc at the Grand Gate were powered by this, the Spindle's death could have been avoided. Weavers were never intended to bring arcs to life using their own magic. She knew this, and yet she sacrificed herself to save us all. Dam is still investigating the interference on the scry. Changes an apprentice's journey. Okay, now you want to talk about something? Lifting the shroud?
Have you ever felt like you couldn't trust the people around you?
I don't know.
A few times. But I try my hardest to rebuild that trust when it crumbles. Some people haven't shown they deserve that effort, so they don't get it. Is there something that's putting you on edge?
It's Sev, and how he was collaborating with the Eye behind our backs.
You still hurt on that, huh?
Oh? I can understand, but you didn't exactly seem blown away by the revelation.
I didn't have time to process it. I have now, and the more I think about it, the more upset I feel. Logically, I understand the situation. I can trace the weave of circumstance that forced his hand and led to his deception. I know he had no choice, and I've even forgiven him. I said the words to his face, so why am I still so angry?
That's a tough one.
It reminded me again of Udea. Will the fear and the manipulation follow me forever? Will it taint everything?
No.
The secrets, the lies, the subterfuge. The Maida may seem a balmy paradise, but in reality, it is a toxic swamp. Every fiber of my being is screaming at the prospect of having my life ruined by this again.
Oh.
All right. It's clear that sitting around base camp chewing on this isn't doing you any good. You need a distraction.
Hell yeah.
Possibly. What did you have in mind?
The Axel must be overwhelmed right now. Let's find something to help her with.
Yeah.
I'm amenable to this. Shall I let you ask her, or...?
Oh no. You're coming with me.
I suppose it'd be good to catch up with her, and I'll meet you at Cassidy's Hold, then.
Alright.
See you soon.
Lifting the shroud. Consult with the Axel. Oh god, more talking. Lane has been struggling with the fact that Sev was part of a secret order and was being manipulated by the Eye. They told me that they were having a rough time getting past it. I didn't know how I could help, so I suggested that we try and find a distraction. The Axel is surely inundated with work now that Kendrick Stanide has been impeached. So I'm going to take Lane to meet her in Cassidy's Hold to see if there's anything we can help with. Consult with the Axel at Cassidy's Hold. Need ship code. An archon part that allows the arc to draw magic from the air without another weaver channeling magic into it. Yep. Then another hour spent just talking to people. The more you play this game, the more you realize it's way more about just simply talking to people. I mean, you don't have to. But the talks are not required, but I do like to do them. Clinging on to a great while shaking minimizes Brynn's stamina loss. Doing that. And at Axel, we got someone who needs work. And I'm sure you have an insane amount of work.
Brynn and Lane, to what do I owe the pleasure?
We're hoping that there's something you can help us with. Or rather, we're hoping that there's something we can help you with.
I'm not sure I follow.
I've been at a loose end, gnawing on painful thoughts, only growing more despondent in the process.
Huh.
So we're here to focus on problems that are a little more tangible. What can we help you with?
That is very kind of you. I've had a great deal of difficulty keeping on top of things.
Right?
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
We're here to help, like I said.
Right. I've got a petition from the scouts here somewhere. Let me find it. Arakim has been nagging me about accessing the Archon's Hearth. Its stores of raw material could busy our forge masters for months. Now that I'm technically in charge, I'm loath to follow Kenrick's lead in recklessly sending the scouts into dangerous situations.
Right.
What I'm lacking to make that call is intelligence on the Archon's Hearth. Our documentation is decades out of date.
Sense?
I've already spent a lot of time in there, actually. It was pretty hot, from what I recall.
Dangerous too, one would assume. Can you elaborate on what you saw in there?
Yeah. Technology was amazing. Half-built arc, hard to beat the heat, foundry. The corals of the worldly, describe it to her. Technology was amazing.
While exploring where the arcs were assembled, I couldn't help but imagine how busy it must have been back before the surge. Archons seem big when I'm fighting them, but the scale feels totally different when they're attached to a scaffold.
Fascinating.
It was hard to beat the heat. The foundry.
Well, it was only one area that was particularly hot, but all of it was dangerous.
I assume you refer to the arcane foundry then?
Right?
Yeah. It was on another level to what you've got here at the hold, or what we have at camp. I can't imagine how many Archon parts they produced per day.
A lot. The coral of the world, you describe it to
The
her.
most interesting part was where they grew the coral. I could feel the magic running through it.
It is a reminder that there are still lost secrets to be found.
Exactly.
Yep, we need it. That's enough detail for now. Move on.
Anyway, there's lots going on in there. Do you think it's safe enough to send in the scouts?
Not quite. I still have grave concerns about the fluctuating heat levels.
Right.
I believe I may have a solution for that.
Oh, her potions.
A potion that will maintain your body temperature even in the hottest conditions. I don't quite have the equipment to make it yet, but the knowledge is there.
That's wonderful news. That said, I would like a demonstration to be sure they work.
I can do that.
A fair stipulation. Some sort of combat encounter in the Archon's hearth under the hottest possible conditions. Fighting an Archon that relies on fire magic would be ideal to demonstrate the potion's efficacy.
You know I'm always up for a challenge.
I have no doubt in your abilities after what I've witnessed you achieve.
Fight a fire Archon then.
Well then, I'll be back once I've felled a mighty construct.
Right. Defeat a fiery arc in the Archon's heart while under the effect of a flame shout file. I got the job done for the Axel. She was pretty happy to get updated maps and weather details about the Archon's heart. However, she still had some reservations about the scout safety, particularly when a drought is passing through. Lane suggested finding something they called calling a flame shout file, a potion that won't let me get hot under the collar. The Axel wants me to stress test a potion by defeating a fiery arc in Archon's heart while under its effects. I'm up for the challenge. Archon's heart. Natural creature with miasma, Dredge's Mire. Okay, I think we are finally done. After like over almost an hour and 10 minutes of just walking around talking to people. I mean, and crafting. I did spend a fair bit of time crafting this sick looking armor, but you know, did not do much otherwise. Anyway, we'll head back to our place, see if there's anyone else I can talk to at the South Wall Way station. If not, we'll end the episode and we're done. Since the surge, travel has been more dangerous. Fewer viewers mean more magic-using creatures everywhere. Bit of fiery arc. I wonder if there is a fiery arc there. Probably, I hope so. Sola. Arakim. Dam. Lane. If I look at my codex, weavers, you see all weavers are done now. Trial of several mantles is still left. Yeah, so these are just in the air somewhere. Discoveries, the whale still has one undiscovered fragment. Magic, Surgeborn has 2. Oh, the Surge has 2, Surgeborn has 2. Religions, Church of the Hallowed Fire. All races done, all guilds organization done. Now this has all sorts of stuff left. Enclave history, nations, Sanchez, and war in the shadows. Location Upper Denefron, Archon's Hearth Institute, they all have stuff I have left to do. I could end it here. Alternatively, I could travel as so I can just change right there. So Archon's Hearth has Pledge Worm. It's not really gonna work. The Bastion, natural one. So like a Benning Glasstail is natural. A Highland Ice Claw is natural. There's still one thing left here. Probably somewhere we have to fly to. So it costs 5 materials to do this. Whichever one I want. Interesting. Okay, we'll save here. And then next time, you're right on that. Alright, see you in the next one.